So,
all right.
Dark Souls. Are we doing Dark Souls or are we doing like Soulsborne?
Soulsborne.
Okay.
I don't see a point in leaving out one.
Right.
For the sake of leaving it out. So...
Almost wish we could both play Demon Souls so we'd know.
Right. So he's only made it through part of Demon Souls, but we're just going to say it's probably good because everyone seems to say it's good. And I haven't played it because I don't have a PlayStation 5. Like everyone else. No one has it.
I'm just
but the real question is going to come to... Like, what do we want where? I feel like Dark Souls 2 always goes last.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's...
The only thing I will say is I enjoyed it when it first came out, and I enjoyed dual-wielding great swords. That was fun.
I feel like
the dragon armor was cool.
Yeah, I feel like that horse has just been beaten so senseless, and it's just...
I tried replaying it again, and it just was bad.
I feel bad talking any more bad about it because it's already had so much bad talking about it.
All right, because it's probably...
It's a good game.
Because it's probably the worst game. What did we like about it? What did we like about it?
What did I like about it?
Well, to be fair, if they, didn't have such horrible movement in the game, it'd actually be better than most of the fucking shit that's been coming out recently.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but
it was...
It's probably better than some of the crap I've seen recently.
And can we Google things?
Yeah.
I want to Google the bosses.
Bosses of Dark Souls 2?
From Dark Souls 2. Because I feel like there was way too many, and they weren't that good.
So the one I remember was the Ancient Dragon that was an optional boss. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that. I remember I didn't do it because
I did it all the time. You just chased his tail.
Oh, really?
Oh, this was another one, the Pursuer.
I feel like
completely pointless.
Right. I feel like I remember going into the Ancient Dragon. He jumped up in the air, the whole thing caught on fire.
Yeah,
and
you had to run at the tail.
Not doing that anymore.
You know what I remember now that I see it? The Royal Rat Vanguard, just that room full of rats.
It was literally just rats.
You just one-shot all of them.
It's literally like...
Ooh, the Smelter Demon. There were like 5 of them.
Here's kind of what I was going to go with here. When you go through here, Last Giant, big guy with a big sword. Pursuer, big guy with a big sword. Dragon Rider, big guy with a big axe. I don't even remember
the Dragon Rider.
I
remember the old dragon sword.
Tower Flame Place.
Well, yeah, I can read.
Circle. He was in the little circle, and you had to raise the things.
What were the Ruined Sentinels?
Those are the 3 guys, and you were like up on the platform, and you had to drop down, and there's 3 of them. I said 3 of them twice. In case everybody's not aware, there's 3 of them.
Yeah, and they can jump up at you if you stay up there too long. But you could always kill the first one before the other 2 got up there.
The other 2 wouldn't trigger until you killed the first one up on the thing. But
gargoyles,
if you fell down,
gargoyles were super depressing in this one compared to the first one.
And it was just the first one, so it was kind of lazy.
The Lost Sinner. I like that fight. That was cool.
But it's literally just
big sword,
big guy with a
skeleton
weapon.
lords. I vaguely remember. They were like a speed bump. You just ran through the skeleton lords and then moved on and called it good.
Right.
Same with what was the super fat one?
Covetous Demon.
Was it?
Yeah, it's just Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, you just move around him and he can't catch you.
Yeah.
That was really boring.
And he just tries to roll on his back. Mytha, the Baneful Queen. That one was kind of cool. I think that was the Medusa chick with the poison thing. That was a good boss. There you go. There's something good to say about it.
The Dukes de Frasia?
Dukes de... Oh, that was the spider.
Looking Glass Knight, that was cool. I liked the looking. That was a cool fight.
He was cool, but he was just another guy with a sword.
But the shield was
really
cool.
And the lighting and everything was
Demon
really
of Song I thought was stupid. It's just a giant frog with a face.
See, I kind of liked the Demon of Song.
It just was too easy to kill.
It was too easy to kill.
It was too predictable.
It was kind of cool.
I guess. And this one?
They had to be smoking something when they were just, face coming out of a frog mouth. I mean, I like that kind of thing.
I thought the area, the scholar area, was really cool. I didn't like the bosses, though. I didn't like you fight a dragon there. The dragon's pretty weak. Guardian Dragon.
Is that the dragon?
Aldea's Keep.
Dragon area. Oh, Aldea's Keep. Yes,
that was. It's the random dragon in a cage.
It was a really cool area, but there wasn't. You didn't really fight a lot of things in it.
Speaking of characters that were completely unneeded, the Throne Defender and the Throne Watcher
Right.
To this day, I don't get it. Like, the defender, okay, he was defending the throne. What is the Watcher doing if not just defending the throne?
He's watching.
Why don't you just call them the throne defenders?
He likes to watch, Eric.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have been fighting us. Maybe he should have just been sitting there staring at it.
He could have just been
just walk up behind him, kick him off the cliff. Like, what do you do?
You just see him with some binoculars.
This one was cool. All right, Dark Lurker. I enjoyed that one. Did you do that one? It was the Faith one. That was cool. I did enjoy that one.
On my 20th playthrough because I didn't know he existed.
I didn't know he existed. Fume Knight. Remember the Fume Great
And someone told me one time that he looks like the cover of like a Disturbed album. I don't know. Was that it? Disturbed?
Another Smelter Demon in DLC. But a blue one this time.
Right. Because...
Ivory King, that's... Yeah, it wasn't the best in terms of boss... Oh, God, they have a category of mini-bosses.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Those are all the same thing.
Yeah, Guardian, Pursuer. Two Pursuers.
That's just when they took a boss and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Which...
I hated that with the Pursuers. You fight the Pursuer 4 times. Did you ever actually kill him?
Was it the Pursuer, or was there just a bunch of Pursuers?
Maybe. I don't know. They didn't really explain.
Well, there had to be multiple Pursuers because there were two of them at one time.
Yeah, but the first Pursuer you just parried and then killed him. Like... He would always do the charge attack, and if you just knew where to stand, you would parry him, stab him, and then he'd get stuck on the cart, and then you backstab him, and he was dead. It was so boring.
You can do that with a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of bosses. Except
it
for
is a lot of
really
it is a lot of bosses.
There's a lot of just parry them. You could say that for a lot of them.
The one thing I will give this game that I did enjoy that isn't in a boss tier list was the invisible armor, where if you killed the invisible armor, like the spawning enemy, if you killed him enough, you get the non-invisible one. It was only for non-cowards that could see.
Only for people with tons of time, I think is what you meant to say.
Shut up. I was bonfire 50 in that area, just trying to do it, and it got to the point where my great swords were just too slow, and they did no damage. I was backstabbing, and it just took so long, and I gave up when I got the chest plate and the helmet and the gauntlets. I never kept going for the legs. I was like, hovel legs, we'll just call it good. Whatever the biggest legs are, fuck it.
I think in Scholar of the First Sin, they just put that in the game. They made it that we didn't have to do it anymore.
Scholar
of the, put it in the game so that you could have it.
Scholar of the First Sin at least changed around where enemies were. They tried to make it harder.
And they added those the red enemies and stuff too.
Oh, one other thing I did enjoy.
Scholar of the First Sin was better.
It was. One other thing I enjoyed, joining the Champions Covenant, so your fist did like sword damage. And you could like dodge people and punch them and shit. I used to wear a tiara with like high heels in a duel, and I'd be like, come at me, bro. And I'd start punching them like parry, and then you kill them with your fist. That was cool.
I do like... One thing that they did that was cool was introducing the dual-wielding thing.
That was cool. I did enjoy that.
Dual-wielding was really cool.
It didn't make a whole lot of sense dual-wielding the swords of that caliber.
Right.
Or like two giant hammers just slamming them. Because I will say, the damage numbers I was able to get to were not a lot. They weren't okay. I could one or possibly two-shot the Covenant's Demon.
Yeah.
And that was a problem.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was a slow attack, but even in PvP, if you did a little bit of like Faith build, you know the Faith one where it would like pulsate and knock him to the ground?
Right.
If that went off when I swung the great swords, he's dead.
Right. And
I never found anyone that survived it.
And you get one caught with one hit, just
or yeah, like
with the tip of it.
The delayed swing where you roll toward them, fake us like as if you're gonna swing, they roll and then you just thump, they're dead.
Right.
And the people that did survive it, you knew, just started panicking. It was just roll, and they started just running. They're
for a heal.
Okay, so now comes Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3.
Yes.
What do you think?
Now here's where it gets hard.
Because they're all good.
They are all really good.
In my opinion, don't murder me, everyone. In my opinion, I didn't like Bloodborne as much for the fact that there just weren't enough weapons for me to get like super lost in it. But I also am a huge medieval fan, and it just wasn't medieval enough for me.
That's fair.
I thought the guns were cool. I do have to
kill you now,
and some of the weapons. I did like the weapons. I thought the guns were cool as a parry item. I liked how they sped it up. I always felt like Dark Souls 1 and 3 were easy for invasions, and 2.
Yeah.
I personally have played PvP in all of them. I enjoyed all of them in terms of PvP. I did think
you would like the fast... You're a fast-paced kind of person when it comes to that. I thought you'd like that.
But I like the fast-paced, mixed with parries and then pulling out a huge weapon. And Bloodborne didn't have a ton of huge weapons that you could just like ruin someone with.
What? Kirkhammer.
They had the Moonlight. They had Moonlight.
Oh yeah, they did have that, and that was in the DLC, I think.
Yeah,
they had that one, the other greatsword that was just a straight sword into a greatsword.
I think the part that
which was the best weapon in the game. Period. End of story. Don't at me.
The part I hated was how long it took me to find a weapon I loved, because like the first 3 hours of me playing, I was basically just using the bone saw, and I was like, can I get something that's a little more interesting?
Yeah.
And once you get used to the movement, the bosses were good. The bosses were good. There were maybe 1 or 2 bosses where I was like, okay, I could have done without this, but for the most part, all the bosses were pretty top tier.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you on the weapons thing. There could have been more.
But is it better than Dark Souls 3?
Exactly.
Because we can't just put all of them in S tier. Is it better than Demon Souls? How about we just put Demon Souls in an unknown category on its own? Because we haven't finished it, so we don't know.
I don't think I can really...
So
from what I've played now, it's like... It's up there. It's definitely in the running, for sure.
I didn't think you'd like the fast-paced Bloodborne. Well, PvP-wise, I didn't think you would.
Yeah, you'd think.
Oh, by the way,
liked Bloodborne a lot.
One other thing we forgot. Dark Souls 2 had the Predator mask.
Oh, well.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, well, it goes at number 1 then.
Can you imagine having a Rambo skin, a Predator skin, a Terminator skin just hidden in your game? All right, Dark Souls 1, you could just go anywhere you wanted at any point. It was completely based on how comfortable you felt.
Right. See, here's the thing about Dark Souls 1.
And I love that.
I'm really going to have to reel back my bias.
Nostalgia?
My nostalgia value.
Right.
Because it was my first one.
Well, yeah, it was my first.
Yeah, and it's...
I will say,
now,
I love Dark Souls 1, and when they remastered it, I did re-fall in love with it.
Yes.
But I still haven't played 1 as much as I played 3.
That's another thing, yeah, it's like...
3, for some reason...
I played so much of 3.
3, for some reason, captivates my interest and keeps it there the whole time. Dark Souls 1, there's always that, like, small area where you're running to the next area, and you're like, God, I wish I could just teleport or something, where it's cool that you have to traverse it yourself, but there's only so much running through the woods that I can take before I'm like, am I there yet?
Right.
And then there was the farming forests right before Sif.
Yep.
Where you basically, if you wanted to get through without being PvP'd, you just have to turn off the internet thing. Because there were just so many fucking... It was cool to, like, invade and stuff there, but even then, I ran into people that would, like, run away when spawning, and it's just such a big fucking forest that it takes forever to get through all of it, and then all the way back, and then someone else invades, and you're like, oh, fuck, now I gotta run back all the way over. There were just certain areas in one I didn't like, but the entire game in all was good, and the DLCs were good.
Yeah. There is
Artorias was really awesome.
Yeah, I would say for Dark Souls 1, boss-wise and character-wise, I think is number 1. I almost feel like all of them need like their own category that they're like in first place for, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. What do you think
like
number 1? Oh, shit. So do you think Dark Souls 1 for bosses? Because there is one that was dumb. That was a Bed of Chaos. That was just stupid.
Bed of Chaos was... And actually...
The gargoyles were done correctly.
The bad things about Dark Souls 1. Izalith was the dumbest area I've ever seen. First of all it was blinding lava that you couldn't see anything running through it. And all it was
the remaster
giant
was better
dragon
on that.
butts that were just standing there that didn't do anything. They
Another
jumped,
thing...
And I just ran past them.
4 kings. There's always like 6 kings if you didn't kill them fast enough. But if you had your highest DPS, yeah, it was 4 kings.
Right.
But if you didn't, because you were like you and a little spear fuck, it would take you like fucking 6 kings. It took me like, it took the 4. Who cares? Gargoyles were done correctly.
Yes.
Black Dragon was scary and good.
Yeah.
The Centipede Demon was just... It could be good, unless he knocked you near the lava and then everything just turned into a blinding chaos and it was just bad.
Which one?
The Centipede Demon.
Oh, yeah. That one was...
where just everything went everywhere if you
really
fucked up.
Crazy.
Crossbreed was good.
It was like, I can't tell what's going on, or I'm just standing at his feet and I'm just hitting them.
Ornstein and Smoke.
Kind of guessing.
Fucking Ornstein
it's
and Smoke.
Ornstein and Smoke.
Exactly.
It's what more could you say that hasn't been said?
First time playing through, I thought Gravelord Nita was the gayest fucking boss ever. On a second, and it wasn't even the boss. It was the lead up to the boss, and then dropping down in the cave, taking damage, and then getting fucking insta-killed. That pissed me off.
By giant swords just...
Right.
It's like, where did that... What?
But in the remastered one, I beat him, and I was like, is this the guy I used to have issues with? Really? And I played through again with a different build, and I was like, huh. But was I just trash back then?
I would say it...
Because he wasn't hard.
Because I think back to my first playthrough of Dark Souls.
And I do
now I go through and play Dark Souls now. It's so different. There's such a learning curve.
The other thing one did really, really well was the fact that you could join the Gravelord Covenant if you snuck in ahead of time. That was cool.
Right. So apparently the Gravelord Covenant didn't do a whole lot.
Well, it didn't do a whole lot, but it was still a cool idea.
It was a cool idea.
And, I mean, if you think
apparently
about...
it was supposed to be more involved, and they didn't make it work as
But you could also get like the
Gravelord's
Gravelord's sword and all that, and you were a menace right off the bat.
Yeah. Because I think you get that. I think it was a pyromancer, and you get it
one thing.
You get it pretty straight off.
Dark Souls 1, weapon-wise, not everything was viable. Like you wanted certain drops, and you had to keep trying and trying to get certain drops.
I remember I would literally start a playthrough.
Black Knight sword.
Yeah, Black Knight sword. I would start a playthrough, run all the way to the Undead Bird. If I didn't get it, I would delete the character and start a new playthrough just for a strength playthrough because it was ridiculously good.
Yep. And I think that's the one thing I'd say they fell short on, because 3, you can kind of just use whatever you want.
Everything is good. There's so...
Well, I mean, not everything is good, but you can force it to at least work for you.
Right.
Also, while we're on the topic of talking about good bosses and stuff like that, Pinwheel!
So, apparently Pinwheel is
meant as a joke?
Meant to be a joke, I guess. Which...
Moonlight Butterfly.
Kind of is fun now. Moonlight Butterfly. I dig the Moonlight Butterfly.
What?
Yeah, because I kind of like that it
was so easy.
I kind of like the idea behind it, though, that it was like a weird Seep the Scaleless creation, and it like wandered off and found its way into the forest.
Well, I mean, the lore makes it better, but the actual boss fight's bad.
The Dark Souls 1, the lore, it really relies heavily on lore.
One other thing I want to say is how cool the setups were. Like running across the bridge, a dragon scorches the bridge.
Right.
That was really cool. Stuff
that
like that.
In Demon Souls, by the way.
So stuff like that was really, really cool.
I saw a bridge and like there were scorch marks on it in Demon Souls,
look
actually,
how
and I'm
few
like,
bosses
wait a second, I've seen this before.
Look how few bosses there are in this one compared to the last.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's so many bosses in 2, but they weren't memorable.
Even Sif being a boss, there's so much lore behind it that you almost feel bad that you even fought.
Oh yeah, and if you do the DLC first, how he does the whole like, oh, I remember you thing, and
then you get mini bosses.
And I don't know if you knew about this.
Mini bosses
if
are Black Knight.
You get Sif.
Oh yeah, if you
to his like if you get Sif to like the lowest health you can, he starts to limp.
Yeah, he does.
He starts to limp, and he makes you kill him. I almost just wanted to leave. I'm like, nope, homeward boating. I'm done. Playthrough over.
Mini
so
boss.
You gotta kill him really fast and not think about it.
Got the armored boar.
Oh yeah.
Those were okay.
I think those were cool.
Crystal golems were annoying. They're just everywhere.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was cool at the time, and now
the butcher.
It doesn't really bother me, but it's like whatever, was the invisible paths. I thought they should have had a couple more. If the game is already going to have
invisible paths.
Well, like they had the one in the Moonlight.
That's because
Moonlight Covenant was cool.
Up.
You just watch where the snow hits.
I know.
I joined the Moonlight thing, and I got the Moonlight Blade and all that. It was really cool.
That was a cool covenant.
But I wish there were like secrets where you could like take it somewhere, and there were like jewel bugs or there was like a reward for finding that extra path. Because the only time you ever do it is when you're on your way to
Seath.
Yeah, Seath, and that's really it.
Prince Rickard is a mini boss.
Yeah, mini boss.
You.
The Hydras.
Oh yeah.
Remember the whole fucking Ash Lake?
I do.
Ash Lake was fucking cool.
I remember when you got down to like the last head and you're just like, no, come here!
When it was too far away.
it just completely misses you.
You can
I'm over here!
You can shoot their heads off with arrows?
Yes, I did know that.
It's stupid, but it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Alright. Dark Souls 3 bosses.
The 3. Oh, look, it's got little pictures of them.
Indeed. Gundyr is, in my opinion, just sad. He's so easy to parry.
Edict's Gundyr or Champion Gundyr?
Edict's the upgraded Gundyr.
Probably butchering the Edicts, whatever that is.
Right. The upgraded version of him, I still don't find that hard. But that's just because I feel like the only hit you really get hit by though is if he like kicks you across the fucking map or if he shoulder bashes you.
Right.
Because those are the fast moves. Everything else is slow.
I think he was really cool. I wouldn't call him difficult.
No.
But cool.
This one was sad.
I liked his moveset. It was very like I don't know. It was just cool.
Then there was, we all know the Valley. I never remember his name when I see him. Boreal Valley. Vort. He's got the the mace thing. And then there's the Cursed Greatwood. You can't forget about punching those balls.
Yeah, you gotta fucking.
Oh, I hated the Crystal Sage. It was either you're gonna insta kill it or you're gonna have to just wait until it finally shows up to kill it, and it was just annoying. Yeah. Abyss Watchers were cool.
Cursed Greatwood was actually a really cool boss.
I think it was cool in the way it was done.
Yes,
but I do think it's a little too easy.
Well, that's it. I feel like a lot of the bosses aren't super hard, but they are all are cool looking. Like all of them, like the thing with Dark Souls 2, I would go in and I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. But like when I walked into a boss in Dark Souls 3, I'm like, oh, that dude's awesome. Like when you just see the giant tree start moving out of the corner.
The Abyss Watchers had a cool fucking intro.
Yes,
they had a really good. The Deacons, I didn't.
I thought the Abyss Watchers were hard. The first playthrough I did, they were pretty hard for me.
I don't want to admit how I did it. I poised just through everything.
Oh, really?
I grabbed the biggest weapon, put on some of the biggest armor, and I just swung.
Yeah.
Well, I always do a strength one for my first playthrough because I know it's just OP.
Right.
And then I do whatever afterward.
My problem is I end up not committing to anything.
Your builds.
Yeah, and then I'm just like super weak because I never committed to anything. I just did everything.
High Lord, you just hit his wrists. Really? Did you know he summons skeletons?
You gotta hit his bling. Yeah, he does. He like.
I never saw them.
His hand and just goes. What?
I never saw them. I've played through it so many times. It was on New Game Plus 9 that I ended up seeing them.
Particular position for him to do it.
I had never seen him until, and I was like, "Holy shit! Did he just summon shit?"
If you fight him the same way every time, it probably won't happen. Because it just.
I never thought about it.
It just didn't.
He was like a stepping stone.
I think when he summons his sword, it's really cool. He like. And just like pulls it out of like a portal in the ground.
Old Demon King, whatever. Pontiff, I thought looked cool. The one thing I will say,
if you say he was easy, I'm smacking your head against.
He wasn't easy until probably my 10th playthrough. Right. And that was when I had watched videos where everyone's like, just parry, and I was like, where, when? And then I was like, oh my god, it's just a long.
Which one?
It's just a longsword timing. You can just parry it.
Oh really?
He's swinging longswords. Parry it and then knock him on the ground. And once you have the. What is it? The fucking Hawk Ring or whatever, where you get double the riposte damage.
Oh, yeah.
He is a joke. A fucking meme. You walk in, knock him, slam him, and he's dead. I felt horrible.
I've never really parried all that much. I parried a lot in Dark Souls
I parried a lot because I played a lot of PvP. I mean, when we played, I used to parry your spear all the time.
Yeah.
With my Smog build.
I used to parry in 1. That was
Yorm the Giant was a cool concept. Gotta go get the sword.
Gotta go get the sword.
I wish he lasted longer than that, but it was cool.
I feel like I had to look that one up. I don't think the signs were all there, like, oh, sword. Oh, I'm not doing any damage. Oh, that probably does something. But I'm pretty sure I was like, why am I not doing damage?
Aldridge, Devourer of Gods.
You didn't like him how?
I hated the arrows.
Like
when I was chasing
it was hard?
When I was chasing after him and I'd get hit by arrows and it would stun me, and I'm like, he's right fucking there. He's right fucking. There were too many times he was one hit and he like pushed me away with something. I was like, just give me the tail. I just couldn't catch him. Like he was still easy to kill, but I fucking hated chasing him.
Right.
He annoyed me. He just pissed me off.
That was a cool boss too, and that one had a bit of nostalgia factor to it.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3 is starting to bump its way up on my list, seeing all these bosses, not gonna lie.
Dancer.
That was a cool one.
Everyone loved her.
Yep. That booty.
Dragon Slayer armor.
Dragon Slayer armor was cool.
That was a cool fight when you walk out there and you're like, oh shit.
Right. I thought the beefed up heavy armor looking stuff of it kind of Ornstein looking like Dragon Slayer. I thought the beefed up Dragon Slayer armor was cool. What do you think
this dude? Consumed King.
Very cool.
He talks.
Kind of Bloodborne-y.
He talks too.
He does a lot. Does a lot of talking.
He's got a lot of lore too.
Yeah. Apparently Sounds like he's got like
it was
smashing his invisible baby.
Gundyr.
Yeah, Champion Gundyr is the one that Edict's Gundyr was the one that like blah and went all Ouroboros Resident Evil 5 on it.
I actually had to turn up my sensitivity for the prince because I couldn't turn around to see if he was behind me fast enough. Because he would teleport with the brother. Yeah.
I thought that was a cool boss. I liked that one.
This one was actually the first... So my first playthrough, like I said, I did a strength build. He made me switch weapons because I wasn't fast enough. And I ended up having to do strength with the... what is it? The bastard sword. Just like the typical bastard sword because it scales high with strength. And I just put on a big-ass shield and I just had to go with it. Because he was annoying me. I was trying to dual-wield weapons and he was just popping all over.
You know what I'm starting to notice, too? There was my critique of Dark Souls 2 that is, I'm noticing a theme not being here. These aren't just big guys with swords.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
this is the only disappointment right here.
Ancient Wyvern.
He's the one you just drop on.
Oh, yeah.
You just run around and then drop on him.
That one was really weird.
And he dies instantly, and I was
but they made up for it with the next one.
The Nameless King.
And when he comes out and it says King of the Storm, and oh, dude, I about ripped a hole in my jeans because I was so excited.
So do you think...
It was so cool.
What do you think best boss in Dark Souls? Do you think Nameless King, or do you think... and not lore-wise, just
lore-wise, just fight
fight-wise.
And like looking cool.
Yes,
like,
just straight
excited.
Fight. Because lore-wise...
I don't think he's as hard as people always seem to say.
Because lore-wise, you can say Gwyn's really cool.
Right.
The Soul of Cinder is really cool.
Sif is awesome.
Sif is really cool. But the Nameless King, I think, kind of like... so many people had so many issues with it. Yeah. So many people had trouble, and I was like, no, if you do this, this, and this, it's okay.
Right.
But I don't think he was as hard, like you said.
Yeah, it wasn't as hard as people talk about, but
he had area of
easy
effect.
Either.
Well, he had area of effect, and the thing is, if you knew, like, he would lift the spear before it hit the ground, roll away, he hits it, that's a free hit for you now.
Right.
And if he does the jab, dodge to the side, hit him, that's a free hit. Like, he wasn't as... The one thing I did get wrecked by was trying to parry him, and I just got fucked.
Oh, yeah, I never tried to parry him.
I tried to parry him. I got cocky once or twice. I tried. The bird, his dragon phase is a little annoying just because I want him down. I want the fight. Let's go bring it. And having to rewatch it every time used to annoy me, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... I'm trying to think of all the bosses, and...
I really enjoyed him.
I thought he was really cool. I thought it was a fun fight. I thought it was a cool fight. I thought it was a cool name. Cool. I liked that he rode it on the dragon.
I have an opinion on the Soul of Cinder boss.
See, that's a lore thing. It's like, it's cool that it's all of the people that ever linked the flame.
Right. And that's actually where my critique comes in. I wanted him to be harder. You see a magic user that pulls out the... what do you call the spell? Fuck, I forgot it. Where he's got the crystals around him,
homing
and he
soul
comes.
Mass,
yes,
homing soul
thank you. Yes,
crystals.
it's soul mass.
Soul mass.
So he comes running at you with those, and then you have to dodge attack. You dodge those, but then he's kind of just out of them. And sometimes maybe he'll do like a soul spear or something, and you just dodge it. And the lightning, he only ever like threw it at the ground or would throw a bolt at you, and I was like, that it. And then the fire was only the whip. I was like, give me more. I want to see him like transforming, use magic and pyro at the same time.
Yeah.
I wanted it, like, not where he just changes, you know? Or the soul stream where he shoots the, like, big beam.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him, like, do fucking all of it. I wanted him to do the crystal mass, shoot a lightning bolt, and then send a fire whip across. Like, I wish there was a hard mode.
See, I'm not sure I'm not sure I'm in the market for him being harder.
Well, he's supposed to be all of them combined.
He is, and he was switching between them. You know what?
How about...
He was pretty hard.
How about...
I
didn't think he was hard.
I would say, actually, for
this?
me, I'm sure someone's going to be like, oh, no, that was super easy, and you just had to do this.
Yeah, he was easy.
No. The final boss in the DLC of Bloodborne, Orphan of Kos, I think is what his name was. That might be the hardest boss I've ever had the most trouble with. I would say he's probably second for me.
What?
He was so... You remember the one where you just swang like 20 times and then hit you with the big thing after he juggled you like it was freaking Tekken?
No, I never got hit. That?
I got hit with the first hit.
It's
every
a huge
time.
open field. You have anywhere to go.
Shut up.
You could run away.
Shut your fucking mouth. He would hit me with the first one, and I would just get juggled, and then I'm laying on the ground, and he's like, nope, not over yet, and just stabs me.
Okay.
And I die every time.
How about this? What if it was a new game like +4 that he unlocks the harder mode? I think that'd be cool.
That's
now,
fair.
One thing I will say that Dark Souls 3 has to be known for.
Crazy people.
Dark Souls 3 has to be stated here. My build, my favorite build I did. Hovel Gauntlet, Hovel Leg for the armor increase, Nameless King chestplate because the fucking Nameless King chestplate, and then I would use the what do you call it? The bandana, like the mask.
Really?
From one of the slave
just to
things.
have something.
So I'd have so the reason you do it is because the bandana pushes in. It's the same color as the Nameless King, so it goes all the way up to your eyes. And they can't see your neck or anything. It's just your eyes, and then I was completely bald. And
you had a little... You looked like that weird thing on the cover of...
Hey, I looked fucking awesome.
I can't remember.
And you know what's even worse?
It looked like a little head poking over the thing.
I was a yellow banana.
I gotta find that.
I was absolutely yellow as hell. But then you do the... What was it? The twin Godry swords?
I'm gonna try to not get you...
Isn't that what it's called?
By playing the...
Well, then don't play it.
I'm not gonna play it. I just need to see the.
Am I right on that? Twin Godry were the dual straight swords.
Yeah, Goddard.
Was it Godry?
Goddard?
I don't know.
Goddard? Yeah,
you get those, and then you get just enough magic to do Crystal Weapon because you use Crystal Weapon, Crystal Soul Mass, and then you run up, and those things pump damage.
Oh,
those things pump so much damage.
This one right here.
Oh, the Disturbed thing.
You look like the Sickness Anniversary Edition.
I'll fucking pull it up. I'll pull it up after this.
Down with the Sickness album. That's what you look like.
No, I didn't. I'll show you later. I looked fucking amazing. Okay, so after going through them, if we had to put them in an order, I'm grabbing a pencil. From favorite to least favorite. Should we just say we can have a tie?
I don't know. What are you going to make a tie with?
1 and 3.
You think?
I don't know.
I was gonna go with 1. I was struggling to put 3 ahead of 1, but I'm starting.
I mean, I can allow 1 to be above because I know everyone loves it. I really like 3 though. That's my personal favorite.
After looking at all the stuff for 3, I'm thinking 3 might be the best.
And 3's DLCs. What was his name? What was his? Oh no. Where he gets harder, and then
Ariamis in the...
Is he the one where he's like crouched down, swinging the sword, and then you get into his next phase, and he just stands up, and you're like, oh, he can stand, and then he just fucking annihilates
which
you.
One was that? Was
that? You know
that
who
was
I'm
in like
talking
the
about.
Ring City DLC.
Yes, I think it was. You know who I'm talking about. That man was scary.
Go to the bosses again. I need to see the bosses.
He wasn't in there. All right, is there a better one?
Go to the Wiki dot is usually a good one.
Wasn't that where I was at?
That's the
Wiki dot?
Frextra Life.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Wiki dot.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you mean like actual dot, not a period?
No, Wiki dot is actually like the name. So,
alright, so Ring City was the Demon Priest. There.
Slave Knight. Yes, he was the last boss. Yeah, he was really cool.
That dude scared the shit out of me the first time I went against him.
Was wrecking me too. The Demon Prince, when he would changed, that dude. I think 3 might be.
I really enjoyed the bosses.
I think 3 might be my favorite. They were. The bosses were good. There was so many weapons. I mean, if you just go to the weapons, the list just goes.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff.
I mean, look at that.
They had a lot. I remember doing a bow build. I tried to play through the whole game with a bow. It was hard, but you could. And they even had the Black Knight Greatsword again. It wasn't as good, but they had it. Do you remember? Do you remember the Dragon Slayer Great Axe? You lift it and send the light, just insta kill half the shit in front of you.
Yes.
The great bows, those were good for memes.
I got one shot so many times by the.
Where you were getting chased or something, and I would shoot the bow and knock them off like a bridge.
Yep.
Those were so fun.
The Dragon Slayer Great Axe, I got one shot in PvP so many times by that freaking power attack.
What was the Great Hammer that was OP as hell? Oh, you had Smoke's hammer, Smoke's armor, you had Ornstein's armor.
I think you were the Smoke.
I did a full Smoke build and a full Ornstein build.
I think you were doing this. I remember we did you were doing Smoke and I was doing Ornstein there for a while.
Yeah, and eventually I did both because I loved them. So
there was a great hammer.
I don't remember if this is what it was, but when you're going to fight the priests, the enemies outside that use the dual blades. No, yeah, these are it.
Are they? Those were the people that were in the Cathedral of the Deep. They had and they would do the and
and they'd come running at you. Yeah. With the blades. These things did huge bleed damage. I did a build using those, and I would put bleed. I would put bleed on it with bleed, and then I would run the thorn armor. Yeah. And I'd roll into people and just kind of tap them, and then just flail on them. I really enjoyed the twin blades in this game. I tried that. The twin blades are so good.
And that's another thing. The dual weapons.
One thing I hate.
The idea was great in 2, and then I feel like they almost perfected it in 3.
One weapon I didn't like. What was it fucking called? The bosses we looked at. The ones that we both enjoy, the Bloodborne looking dudes. I just forgot their name.
Bloodborne looking? Osiris was kind of Bloodborne.
No, he's in the base game before.
No, Osiris he was the dragon
No,
guy.
I'm talking about, you fight them, they're like the 5th boss or something, I don't remember. The knights, one of them fights with you, the other ones are against you.
Oh,
I don't remember their fucking names all of a sudden.
The Farron Watchers. Oh my god, why can't we think of that?
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't
think
of it.
Right here, so...
Yeah, it's in the Great Swords.
Wolf Knight.
Was it Wolf Knight?
No. But maybe
yes, it
it'll
was.
say something about him.
Right? It was the Wolf Knight.
Maybe it'll say something about him. Farron something? Farron Greatsword? Yeah, do Farron Greatsword.
What the fuck was the name of the boss?
I don't know!
Abyss Watchers.
Abyss Watchers. I knew they were watching something, maybe, I don't know.
I hated that sword. I thought its moveset was completely and utterly useless.
I thought it was cool, though.
It was cool and horribly bad.
Tyler, I got him with that all the time.
Super low damage, super predictable, very easy to avoid.
Sorry, Tyler, if you watch this video, but you did struggle with it. Don't at me, bro.
I feel like he would have struggled with a lot of things. That weapon, to me, was terrible. I tried to make a build on it. I tried so hard, and it wouldn't work. It was so bad. So bad. Same with the Great Lance over here. Fuck the Great Lance. That thing was terrible. It was bad. There were some weapons in this that were just
I feel like if you didn't... You just... With the Farron... The dragging thing
the dark
and
sword.
Thing, that was a cool one.
Oh, wait.
That was the one that was, squiggly.
Is it this one?
The luck sword?
The luck sword! I actually had an entire build where I was green because I was so lucky, and I did the luck sword. I did a full... It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was so bad.
The Farron Greatsword, if you just did the first 2 attacks and you didn't do the flippy bit at the end...
Yeah, the flippy bit was useless.
The flippy bit left you so...
But it did no damage compared to other weapons that were faster and had further reach.
You know what? I don't have time for you to be right now. So
you could just use a halberd and spin to win.
Spin to win?
Katanas were good.
I did like Gundir's halberd was a pretty
Some
good
of these
weapon.
katanas were dope as hell.
They were really cool.
I was never a big katana guy, but they were good.
Yeah.
You know what else was good? In this game, I don't know if it was good in the other ones, my sword build, the bleed one, there was a bleed whip, and it would reach people at weird ranges, so you would roll and pull it out and then whip them and then put it away.
The notched whip was the one that would look all spiky?
Yes, it worked. You could get bleed because they were so used to the sword that I would stop, and then I'd flick them with a whip, and it would bleed, and they'd lose 500 health, and they would just bleed out, and I was like, how does it feel? The clubs were good, as usual.
I want to go play and do a bleed build.
The bleed build was good. I still have that.
I wonder if people are still doing PvP.
Mailbreaker. Remember the Mailbreaker?
Oh, yeah. I used to use it as a marker for what new
I never used the parry dagger. I always just went bare hands. So if I was two-handing Smog's weapon, I'd slap people with it, and then I'd pull out the what was it, Castus?
Cestus.
Because the Cestus was fast enough and it could punch and do some damage. But if a longsword or a spear tried to hit me, I could parry them and then be like, uh-oh! And then, Smog damage.
Raggy.
Smog's weapon didn't do a whole lot of damage, but it was cool.
It was cool. It was really, at the end of the day, it's kind of all that matters.
Not the Arbalest. What was it?
It was the Evelyn.
There it is, Evelyn. Those were annoying online. People would start chucking them. I was like, dude, you gonna attack or what? And you're just walking sideways like, dude, are you gonna attack me or what? Alright, So, I gotta say, in my opinion, I always thought Dark Souls 3 was my most played and my... Like, if I had to play a Dark Souls right now, I'd go to 3 right now, personally.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm gonna say Dark Souls 3 for me right now is number 1. I grabbed a pencil that has no lead in it. I know, I lied. So, I would go 3, and then what? You want to put 1 and Bloodborne together? The thing with Bloodborne is I enjoy...
See, I started this out like thinking, no, 1's gonna be my favorite, but now I'm like, is
Bloodborne I enjoyed, but I'm a medieval person. I
right.
love Dark Souls. I mean, me and you went to the midnight release of 2 just to be thoroughly disappointed, like 6 months later when the nostalgia finally ended.
Right.
I even got the metal edition of the game. Still have it.
I remember you did. You got the metal case.
I got the metal case and everything. Still have it. If anyone wants it, please buy it, because no one's gonna buy it now. So I think 2 is probably the one I wouldn't go. I actually tried to play 2 again.
Did you?
The movement's bad. I don't remember it being that bad. It was bad.
Me and Bob had to like force ourselves to keep going back to 2 because we wanted the platinum. He wanted the platinum trophy on PlayStation so bad for it. I'm like, oh my god, this again. And when we got rid of it, I'm like, I'm done. And I deleted it. So I clearly can't put it.
So I'll just put Demon Souls above that. How about that?
Yes, Demon Souls definitely goes above it. I've played like
because we don't know where it goes, but I can't actually drop everything and play it because I don't have a PlayStation 5. So therefore I didn't play it.
Right.
And then 1 and Bloodborne are both just right underneath 3, but like by a 1% difference.
I know, but like, so you would put 1 above Bloodborne, right?
Me personally, that's why I'm putting them together because I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
Personally, if I had to pick between going to Bloodborne or starting my PlayStation doing Bloodborne right now, I would more willing move my Xbox, plug that in, and play 1 than play my PlayStation that's already plugged in. I liked Bloodborne. It just wasn't for me. I like the medieval era.
I really like Bloodborne an awful lot.
So for you, it'd be 3 Bloodborne, then 1.
I don't know. I
you
like 1 so much.
So do you want 1 and Bloodborne above for you, and then 3?
No, because I think I've decided 3 is my favorite.
3 is my favorite.
The more I think about 3, and the more I think about all the things
I played the shit out of 3.
They had so much in it, but it wasn't because
they
just threw
everything.
Stuff in it randomly.
You have Hovel, you have Ornstein's armor, you have smoke stuff. They have everything.
You had awesome areas, you had awesome bosses. There wasn't too much
aesthetics
repeated
were
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah, everything looked great. The movement was awesome.
The
Soul
so
many weapons,
armor.
Yeah,
the fashion in that game.
Oh yeah,
was
there's so
amazing.
many different. The amount of armor sets and weapons and everything you could choose from.
The one thing I will say is,
and it didn't feel like overdone.
Dark Souls 1's music and like
really
the resting area.
Firelink
Shrine
Shrine's
was
music
so
was really
good. I still love it. It's just hard to choose.
3's definitely up top of it because it was so much in it, but it wasn't like too much, and it wasn't like repeated stuff. Like they didn't have to copy and paste anything. I mean, did they do? I don't think they did anything where they just took a boss and like made it another thing. They did that once with Gundyr, and then it was completely different.
Yeah, it was a completely different area.
And he was a completely different fight. So even when they did repeat something, they made it a totally new and cool thing.
There are areas in 3 I didn't like the second area, where you go through the town on the way to the tree fight.
You didn't like that area?
I don't know.
I thought it was kind of cool. Like that's another thing. It
felt like a speed bump. It was just kind of in my way.
So all the games seemed to have their own way of this is how this area dealt with the undead, and their area was literally just chop them up and kind of.
I think the reason I didn't like it was just it was more of the aesthetic wise, just wasn't what I cared about. It just it was okay, but I will say it was nice seeing Onion Bro back. And he does fight with you against the demon. I thought that was cool.
I thought that was a pretty good area.
Solaire in the first game, that's plus 20 points already. Solaire was amazing.
And I feel like I can't give it to 1.
And it was so hard to kill him.
Because 1 is just so nostalgia based, I feel like, is the only reason it's so good. I feel like that's why I can't.
Because you want to go back and do it again. But it was remastered. It
was remastered. The remastered version was awesome.
But in terms of like playability, they both have the same playability. I just think if I were to pick one right now to just enjoy my evening with, I'd pick 3.
Yeah.
And that's because I know I'm going to get invaded in both 1 and 3. People are in both.
Right. I think 3, it's definitely, the more I talk about it, the more, the bigger lead it gets. Right. So 3 is definitely 1. It's just the 1 in Bloodborne.
So just tie them, maybe?
I don't think we can tie them.
No?
No. I mean, the whole point of this is to rank them. Okay. We can't just have a cop-out.
All right, here's my opinion. It would go 3, 1, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and then 2. What is yours? And that is strictly because Bloodborne isn't medieval. That's my only stipulation, is I feel like playing medieval games. But that's also why I play For Honor and you don't.
Right.
I love medieval.
Right. Pull up. Let's do Bloodborne's wiki and look at the bosses and stuff and see.
You gotta look at.
Yeah, I need to get a little.
Having
refresher.
Some trouble.
It's been so long since I played that one, and I just did a playthrough of the 1, so the memory of how much I like 1 is like fresh in my mind. But the more I think about Bloodborne, I'm like, I feel like it was so good.
I remember the bosses being really good.
Do that one. That's fine. His pictures, which is like the main thing of Bloodborne, makes it look so awesome. See, I love the kind of the horror-y feel of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the aesthetics, but I'm a very big medieval person.
Right.
But otherwise, I did enjoy the aesthetics.
There wasn't very many bosses in that game, was there?
Yeah, enemies that feel like bosses, maybe.
I would say there was a lot of crazy enemies.
I mean, there obviously didn't need to be a ton of bosses because it felt fine.
I would say it didn't feel like I was short on things to fight.
Yeah. One thing I will say.
I mean, the weapons and stuff, like there wasn't really a lot of it. I mean,
almost all of them had a weakness to fire. Now that I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, everybody's weakness was fire.
I used fire all the time. I just didn't know that it was everyone's weakness.
Right. Everyone hated fire. Weakness, serration.
And Bloodborne is the one game that makes you realize you don't need a shield.
Right.
Like Dark Souls, I was willing to go back, and I was like,
"Yeah,
do I need a shield even for parrying?"
To 3, I was like, "I'm just gonna roll 2-hand everything."
I mean, I was already parrying in 3, and when I went into this, I was like, "Okay, parrying's a little bit faster." And then when I went back to 3, I was parrying too soon.
Right.
And one thing I gotta say, because you said you didn't parry a whole lot.
And I don't think I ever really used guns
My wife,
Bloodborne.
Sarah, parried a lot in 3.
Really?
She parried the Watchers.
Really?
Yes. She parried me.
The Watchers.
She parried me in PvP.
I'm too scared to parry the Watchers.
She walked in. She was like, "So you can just parry, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she parried him when he swung. I was like, "Oh." And then I played against her, and yeah, she parried me too. So I mean, her parry timing is fine. I know she plays Zelda, but she doesn't normally play like Dark Souls 3 was her first game, and she was already parrying bosses.
Okay, it's cool. Just tell me how much I suck. That's
no.
fine.
I'm saying
it might not be as hard. I get it.
It may not be as hard as you originally thought, and if you've already developed the idea, like for 1 and 2,
parrying.
I didn't try to parry. I didn't want to parry because I knew how much health I'd lose if I missed.
Right.
So I never did it. And then in 3, I was like, but everyone's saying just parry, so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
Parrying's so scary though.
And then I tried it, and it's so good, so good.
It's scary. I don't like it.
It's amazing. PvP, a joke if you parry. I feel so bad for people when I have like a little long sword and I'm like, I'm going to use this. And then I parry them, pull out this massive fucking hammer. I'm like, you are dead. Because you always have the ring on for double the riposte damage. So, you know, damage is gone. 2,000 damage on a parry.
I think I'm going to have to put 1 in front of Bloodborne.
1 in front of Bloodborne?
Yep, I'm going to have to go with you.
So we actually agree.
Yeah.
3, 1, Bloodborne, Demon 2. Yeah. And Demon Souls is only there, again, to reiterate, for the sole fact that we haven't fully played through it. Because I don't have a PlayStation 5.
And I do, but I haven't really played all the way through that game.
Right.
I don't want it to end too quickly, because it is really awesome.
I feel like that's a fair assessment, though.
Yes.
But like you said, looking more and more into it and having my nostalgia come up, I loved 3.
3 was so good, and the more we talk about 3, the more I realize how much cool stuff was in it.
But to be fair, I loved all the Dark Souls.
Yes,
I mean, I have all of them on Xbox and all of them on PlayStation.
Yeah. I liked all of them. Even 2, I liked when it first came out.
And 3, they have all the mods and stuff where you can make them harder now. I just don't want to buy a third copy. Because
I don't know if I need 3 to be any harder, but...
Well, you have all kinds of mods. You can change how hard the mod is and all that. Those are...
yeah.
But I think that's our list then. 3, 1, Bloodborne, Demon, 2. I feel like that was a long talk. That actually was about Disney Princess length.
Was it?
Yeah. Our Disney Princess was like 40 minutes. But next, me and Sarah are going to have Assassin's Creed, and there's going to be some fights.
Some fights.
Fuck the new games.
I don't feel like I don't think I've played enough of the Assassin's Creed new games.
I played Origins.
I stopped after Black Flag.
I played Origins, and I watched Sarah play Odyssey. I refused to play that one. And then Valhalla came out, and I refused to play that. But she didn't like Valhalla either. She said that's going in F tier. So that's one thing we can both agree with.
I played, I think, 15 minutes of Origins, and then...
The damage numbers, like, machine gun bows, and stuff like... Yeah. I thought it was cool if you could embrace that, but as far as pushing the Assassin's Creed storyline, I didn't like it.
No, yeah. I didn't feel very assassin-y.
You know Desmond's alive somewhere, apparently? Is what they're doing now?
Well, yeah, I guess he didn't die, did he? Did he die?
Oh, he's not alive? He's just in the... Oh, he's in the Animus.
He's not really alive.
I thought you said he was in the Animus.
It's like this blue, weird electric thing.
He's God.
He's God now.
He's a blue electric thing. Alright, he's God now. Who cares? Alright, but I think that'll do it for our list. Thank you, everyone, if you enjoyed it. I know we have some people that like Dark Souls. Because they compliment me on the music. I use Dark Souls, the Firelink Shrine as background noise when I talk.
Because
it's amazing.
Souls is awesome.
Exactly. So that'll do it.
Bye.
Have a good one, everyone. Have a good day. And let us know down below if we're completely fucking wrong. But in the end, you are wrong.
Yeah.
I guarantee people are going to say 1 is better or Bloodborne is better, but 3 is so good. Play it again.
You can give your opinion. Otherwise, as long as you know that you're wrong.
It's opinions. And anyone that says 2 is better, I just... I don't know what to say to that, but that'll be the end of the video right there.